Hi, my name is cierraaaaa and welcome back to the channel. If you are not new, welcome. Subscribe. Yeah, I'll give you a couple of seconds. Right, if you haven't watched my last video, go ahead and do that. I posted it. It should be up by now. I'm posting my story time before I post this, so yeah, go watch that. It'll be linked up here. I don't even know where it goes, but it's gonna be linked somewhere, so go watch that right after you watch this, because that is a juicy story time. A juicy story time. I'm not gonna ramble too much. Let's get straight into the video. If you see me looking down, it's because I have my iPad open. I'm looking at my unpopular opinions right now. Listen, if you do not agree, then period, you don't have to agree. I'm not asking you to agree with me. Honestly, if you disagree with me, I encourage you, I implore you to comment what you think of my opinions down below. Give me what you think. Comment. Let's have a conversation. Some of these are unpopular for a reason. Number one, I feel like adults should not be fighting. Like, that's just, it's not cute. Like, you're too grown to be doing that. And then you have a bunch of young girls and young teenagers watching baddies and thinking that behavior is acceptable. It's not. Like, grown-ass adults know how to have a conversation and communicate. Of course, fights happen. If somebody plays you and you have a genuine, real reason to lay your fingers on them, I'm not gonna judge anybody for that, because if I was ever put in a position where I had to fight, I would absolutely fight. But fighting just for fighting's sake, no. Fighting over something somebody posted on Instagram, fighting over something somebody said about you, people that have no sense of proper upbringing don't know how to use words to communicate themselves, and so that's why they use their fingers. That's why they use force, because they don't have the ability to express how they feel without putting their hands on somebody. I'm sorry, like, I just had to say it, but you do what you want to do. And I also would just like to add that I stand firm in the if you have to fight. And so what I mean by if you have to fight, like, if somebody places their hands on you first, babes, do your biggest. I know I said you shouldn't fight based off of what people say about you, but I mean that in like a social kind of way. I mean that in like a people talking shit about you kind of way. But I think that if somebody uses a slur against you based off of what you identify as, and that can be in terms of your race, ethnicity, your sexual orientation, any defining factor that marks you as you, and they use a slur towards you, I think that's a valid reason to fuck somebody up. But those are the very few circumstances that I think it's okay, or at least it's acceptable to fuck somebody up. I feel like that's reasonable. I feel like that's justifiable. It's only, you know, two little exceptions. Next unpopular opinion. This one might ruffle a couple of feathers. I feel like adults just don't know how to co-parent. And that's the truth. And if we're being honest, it's because a lot of us Gen Zs and millennials, we were raised in single parent households by our mothers, who also did not know how to co-parent. I'm not a mom. I'm just speaking from someone who has separated parents. I feel like whatever happens in the relationship, it leaves some sort of trauma, and it leaves people extremely bitter on both sides. I don't want people to, I hate when people are like, oh yeah, the woman is bitter, because half of the time the man is bitter as well. Both parties are 9 times out of 10 both bitter. So let's not put that burden on the women. But at the end of the day, when a relationship ends and there's a child involved, you created life together. And so this is going to bind you by life. Anything that the next person does that you don't like, you're gonna bring it up, you're gonna have an issue with it, because that's just how things go. Just gonna elaborate. So basically, right, it's natural for two human beings to get into it about matters concerning a child. Say for an example, one parent gets a new partner and now they're dating. That's gonna be a problem, because low-key, some of y'all still be feeling like y'all have ownership over y'all baby dad or your baby mothers, just because y'all have a kid together. Just because y'all have a kid together doesn't mean that person is not free to date. No shade. Like, if y'all are not together and y'all have an adult discussion about, you know, what their relationship means for your kid, then you should have no issue with your ex, because that's what they are, your ex being with somebody else. I don't understand why two parents who aren't together get into it about that. Like, and people let their anger and resentment of their partner and possibly of the way that their relationship ended, they let that affect how they raise their children, and that's just not right, because now your kid is going to grow up with a bad example of what a co-parenting situation looks like, and God forbid they end up having a baby outside of a strong relationship and they pass that trauma down to their children. Wearing bonnets outside is not ghetto. Actually, let me rephrase that. Wearing bonnets outside is not ghetto, it's just not cute. And I wouldn't do it because it's not cute. I don't personally believe that wearing a bonnet outside is ghetto, because what about that is ghetto? Like, that's protective wear that we wear to sleep. White people wear messy buns and nobody bats an eye at that. Like, they'll go outside with their hair unbrushed, looking unkempt, and nobody bats an eye. No one looks at them with a side eye, but if I were to go outside with a bonnet on, I would be looked at crazy. I feel like looking presentable as a Black person is extremely important, because we're already seen in such a terrible light. People of all races, even our own people, look down on us. And so why would you do something to cause more attention to go towards you, more negativity to come towards you? Why? Like, okay, and since we're on the topic of hair, wearing your natural hair is not childish. The way that we like know to style it is childish. So for an example, right, a lot of times when I see girls entering their natural hair era, like they're starting to embrace their natural hair, they wear styles like pigtails, or they'll have 2 braids, or I've seen people with beads. But I just feel like there's other hairstyles you can do. You don't have to wear 2 pigtails. You don't have to wear a puff. I think you just have to do some research on the styling. Go on Pinterest and do some deep digging, because sometimes I'll go on Pinterest and I'll see a bunch of things I don't like, but you just have to keep scrolling and keep looking. Okay, so I know people don't like Fanita or whatever Fanita said about some people being ugly, she did not lie. Fanita was right. Like, some people are just ugly, but you have to understand that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I might find somebody ugly and the next person might find the most attractive person in the world. That's just how perception works. To act like nobody in this world is ugly, people are just afraid to like say the quiet part out loud. But some people are ugly, and that's okay. That's literally fine. And there's somebody for everybody. Somebody will find them beautiful, and somebody could find me ugly as hell, and that's perfectly fine. Like, I don't give a fuck, because there's somebody else that finds me amazingly beautiful. I feel like people took her point and then ran with it, because she used to be fat and then she got skinny and they were like, oh, well, she thinks she's all this, she's all that. It's like, no, like, it's the truth. Like, some people just look at beauty differently. It makes me really uncomfortable when I see a really short girl with a really tall guy. I don't really mind height gap relationships as long as it makes sense. If you are over a foot taller than your partner, that's when it's like, if you have this huge stature compared to this tiny, very petite girl, it's just like, I don't know, to me it screams, I cannot fathom why a man that is 6 foot tall would want a girl that is 4'11". Like, that's extremely concerning, and I look at you sideways. From your height, she looks like she could be a little kid. Like, and obviously, you know, we're talking about grown-ass adults here. I'm not talking about like the other thing. It's weird to me, and I feel like people just don't want to address their dark thoughts. Like, leave the tall man to the tall girl. Yeah, Black people never know how to have a serious conversation. And for some reason, even on TikTok, I've been seeing people talk about how Lululemon to the club is ugly, it's ghetto, it's this, it's that, and the third. To be honest, would I wear Lululemon to the club? No, it's not club wear. That's not club wear. That's the outfit I would wear to run an errand. I mean, if I'm being honest, I wouldn't wear Lululemon anywhere because I would not pay for Lululemon. That is a company that doesn't even fuck with black people. So I would never purchase Lululemon with my black dollar. But you do whatever you want to do with the money that you make. I would never wear athletic wear to the club because that's just not where athletic wear is meant to be worn. But in that same breath, I don't judge anybody that does wear Lululemon to the club, because back in the day, people were wearing business wear in the club and nobody said anything. Back in the day, I remember when I was younger, y'all was wearing business casual to the club. Baby, business casual is meant for the office, not the fucking club. So I don't even judge, because it's like, to be honest, y'all be wearing bullshit to the club anyways. Y'all care too much about other people. That's another unpopular opinion. Like, y'all just care too much about what somebody else is doing. You cannot pay me to get me to care about whatever the fuck somebody else is doing. Baby, go clock into a job. Find a hobby, because I promise you, if you had shit to do with your time, you would not be concerned with what the fuck Sally and Amy and fucking Peggy Sue is doing. Okay, this is gonna be my last opinion. A lot of people might not like this, but I don't care. The Black Kiana jokes are tired. We're tired of hearing it. I'm tired of hearing it. Stop saying Black Kiana, especially if you're not black yourself. I don't care if you're a person of color. I don't care if you're fucking Mexican. I don't care if you're Indian. I don't care what the fuck you are. It really did not dawn on me until people brought it up. I'm gonna be 1000% honest. And low-key used to try to like alleviate the attention on her, like I'm her publicist or something. I'm not even gonna hold you. I used to be a Twitter warrior when it came to Ariana. Like, and I'm not gonna lie, I still won't let you come for her too hard. I still shut that shit down whenever y'all come for her too hard, because I don't care. That's my girl. I don't think it was intentional. I don't think it was out of malice. I think she just has always had a lot of black influences in her life. You can see that a lot of her closest friends throughout time has been black. All the time. She's always had a black friend. Multiple black friends. It's not shocking to me that AAVE rubbed off on her. It's not shocking to me that she felt the need to tan at one point. It's not shocking to me that she's heavily influenced by black people and black culture. I just think that she took it a little bit too far and she inserted herself too much. I hope that one day she'll apologize. There's a part of her that knows that she was wrong for that, because obviously the girl does not tan anymore. The girl is back to her original skin tone. And also, the girl does not heavily use AAVE. Kiyomi, get your ass in here was crazy. Like, that was wild. That's my cookie, that's my juice was wild. Like, I watch those videos and I laugh at it, but at the same time, in the back of my mind, it's just like, girl, what are you doing? I just feel like it's tired. The joke is tired, it's exhausted, it's done. Let it go. Stop making the joke. Even black people don't make the joke anymore. And if you are black and you still make the joke, I'm side-eyeing you. But that was it. That was it for my unpopular opinions. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you didn't agree with me for some of these, because I love an argument. I would love to have a conversation with y'all in the comments. So if you agreed, if you disagreed, comment down below. Subscribe, like the video, please like the video, because that pushes it out. So go ahead and like the video. Follow me on Instagram. It'll be on the screen right here, as well as my TikTok. Even though TikTok is getting banned, just go ahead and follow my TikTok. And yes, I will see you guys in the next video.